It is time for The Spread, our weekly look at sports from a gambling perspective. With us, as always, is former Vegas odds maker and current Don Best analyst, Todd Fuhrman. Todd, I love the vintage throwback jacket you're sporting, sir.
Hey, we mix it up. You know, I have to turn back the clock a little bit, and I'm sure you're a much better compliment to Danny than Reese normally is in this role.
I will second that.
Shh, don't tell him. Now, Todd, it's been rumored that Floyd Mayweather wagered a whopping $5.9 million on the Heat in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Is this story fact or fiction?
It's 100% unadulterated fiction. When you talk about a bet of that magnitude, and the fact no one in Las Vegas had heard anything about it, it just goes to show the stories that Twitter and a lot of the media like to pick up when it revolves around sensationalism and sports betting. Just the sheer magnitude of that would be difficult to get down even on the Super Bowl, let alone a Game 7 of the NBA playoffs. It just doesn't attract the betting volume, and there's no reason for sportsbooks to extend that kind of liability to a customer, even with as high a profile as Floyd.
All right, well, let's stick with Mayweather since he's coming up in a fight. He is listed as a -250 favorite in his upcoming bout with Canelo Alvarez. When was the last time Mayweather was such a small favorite, and do you see the public betting him up to possibly a -300 or 400 territory?
Had to go back a little bit in the Don Best way back machine to 2007 when Floyd took on Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd in that fight was -170, and we know how that ended. I'll be interested to see how the betting comes in. Canelo Alvarez is gaining steam as far as the betting public's concerned, and the reality of it is he's about as strong a puncher as Floyd has faced in his recent bouts. Just don't know if his speed will be up to snuff. I think this number will fluctuate anywhere from $250, maybe up to $3, and then come back with some public money as we get closer to fight night on September 14th.
Todd, the Golden Nugget has released some early Game of the Year lines in college football. Give us a few of the marquee matchups that you expect to draw the most action.
Well, you have to tip your hat to these guys for putting up 250 college football Game of the Year numbers to try and attract a little bit of early action. But when you talk about college football, you have to look at Alabama and the marquee matchup early in the year. Alabama, they have listed as a 6-point favorite for their trip down to College Station. A real interesting game. It's not often you get Alabama in a regular season contest with revenge. I think that number will come down a little bit. The betting public will gravitate towards Johnny Manziel catching those points in his own building. And the other game, way late in the year that caught my eye, the Ohio State Buckeyes, a 6-point road favorite at the Big House against Michigan. That may be the only obstacle standing in Ohio State's quest to get to the national championship. A pretty manageable schedule, both in the non-conference portion and throughout Big Ten play.
I can't wait for college football to get started. Bring it on. Sooner the better. All right, the Belmont Stakes is this Saturday. And while there is no Triple Crown threat, is there any real reason to watch?
We're still talking about horse racing at this point. No,
right.
Exactly.
You know what? It's fun, and I think it's good for horse racing to get the big sports stage, especially this time of year. But without a Triple Crown threat, nobody will pay much attention to it, and the sportsbook betting handle will show that. I don't really anticipate a much bigger volume than you'd get on a big race at Santa Anita late in the year. The next major event that you'll see on the horse racing calendar, that'll be the Breeders' Cup in early November. The Belmont, pretty much an afterthought after Oxbow dashed our dreams of a Triple Crown winner in 2013.
Well, hopefully we can find some soccer to watch.
World Cup
there'll be
qualifiers.
plenty
Hello?
coming up, Danny. We know you'll be glued to the TV for all the hexagonal matches for Team USA as we fight to try and shore up that back line in a quest to get to Brazil to get knocked out of the group stage.
What he said.
Oh, Todd Fuhrman, this man knows his stuff. For more gambling wisdom, find Todd on Twitter at Todd Fuhrman. Thanks so much, Todd.
Thanks as always for having me, guys. Enjoy the games this weekend.